Hey, this is Parrish Alford with the Daily Journal. I'm joined by Brad Henderson, Ole Miss career hits leader and radio analyst for baseball. Brad, one of the interesting things about my job, this is a plus now of going back and forth between our two SEC schools, is that I heard you and David Kellum on the radio. Man, I don't ever hear you guys on the radio because I'm usually there with you, but I listened to y'all coming back from the Friday game. I was at Duty Noble Field on Friday and heard a lot of the Ole Miss game with you guys calling. That was fun.
Yeah, it was cold. It was a cold evening. I'm sure it was in Starkville as well. My coworker's got a son that plays at Mississippi State, and he said it was pretty chilly in Starkville as well. But yeah, David and I had a good call on Friday, and obviously it was a good start to the weekend for Ole Miss.
Yeah, David keeps a heater in the box, though. I bet y'all were okay, huh?
Oh, we had two heaters, and the windows were closed. So I mean, I say it was. It looked cold, but I do go down and interview a couple players and Coach Bianco after the game. So then I really felt it was cold. But yeah, it's not too bad in the booth.
Two heaters, man. Pull a lot of electricity. I wonder if we see the video board go out, we'll know what the problem was, man. It's that radio booth.
Well, and that's okay. Because we're going to keep the heaters on, and I'll just hold up numbers in the radio booth on what the score is if the scoreboard goes out.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, I looked on the schedule. This was, Ole Miss has had, I will say, more challenging opening weekends before. I think Charleston Southern was a rebuilding program. You can see that lots of new places, lots of new faces, lots of Mississippi connections right now. But Ole Miss really was, looked really strong for 3 games. I mean, the offense, I think, was as good as advertised, and the pitching may be a little bit better. What did you see?
Yeah, I thought the same, Parrish. I mean, you kind of know what you're going to get offensively. It's just a matter of how they want to shake that thing up and who they're going to play against right-handers and who they're going to play against left-handers. But, they were shaky defensively Friday night. And then I thought obviously some nerves probably went away as the weekend carried on. But, I was pleasantly surprised with some of the arms. I'd seen several of those guys in some inner squads, but you only get an inning or two dose of it, and you don't really know how they're going to perform until they flip the lights on. But I thought Riley Max was really good on Saturday. The freshman from Jackson Prep was up to 95. I thought his control was really good. Thought Hunter Elliott was really good yesterday. Doherty was dominant yesterday. So, yeah, I think they are probably deeper than they were. We were so top-heavy last year. But, again, it's early. You know how it's a marathon, not a sprint. But they do have some pieces to work with that staff. So, yeah, all in all, I thought it was a good start to the season.
Yeah, I thought Maddox, man, at one point I looked down and he might have finished this way, but 19 pitches, 17 strikes. I mean, lots of guys throw hard, but not everybody knows where it's going when they turn it loose.
Yeah, and that's an 18-year-old kid in his first time in front of a really good crowd on Saturday. The weather had gotten better, and but to their credit, they've had to face this offense all fall and all spring. So it may have been a breath of fresh air to see somebody else other than a Tim Elko or a Kevin Graham. But no, I thought they handled it well. I thought the starters were fine. I thought Derek was pretty good on Friday. I thought Gaddis was really good on Saturday. And then, Drew, other than the home run, I thought he was pretty good yesterday. But, as well as I do, Parrish, they're just trying to prepare for conference weekend, the first conference weekend at Auburn. Things could certainly look different by then. But, again, pretty good opening weekend for the Rebs.
Now, again, I was listening. I wasn't there for the Friday game. Derek had one rough inning. Do I recall that? What did you see in his start?
Yeah, just a slow start. Of course it was cold and probably some nerves there, but rough is probably not a fair adjective to describe that. He had a couple walks, gave up a run, but for the most part, it was the Derek Diamond we were used to on the good days. It's just the consistency with him. But we talked to him after the game, and his biggest thing is he thinks his biggest jump has been the mental side of it, the growth mentally. So we'll see. He'll have obviously another opportunity this Friday, and hopefully he can build off this past weekend.
John Gaddis is going to be such a key piece, Brad, if they're really going to get this done on the pitching side of it. Others could emerge, and like you said, I think there are a lot of options there, but they sought a guy like John Gaddis. They wanted to get more experience from the transfer portal, and certainly he brings that, and had success in the Southland Conference, which is good. You want your guy to come in with an expectation of confidence and knowing what to do on the mound, and certainly his time there brings that. And I know some people will look at the Southland Conference and just wonder, how that translates to the SEC, and we still don't know that. Won't know that for a few more weeks. But I thought he was really good. I thought he did what you see a lot of left-handers do. There was good location. I thought he changed speeds, and and basically, they had a few hits, 2 or 3, I believe. But as I recall, at least 2 of them were kind of bloopers, and mostly he stayed away from hard contact.
Yeah. Well, you said exactly how I was going to describe it. He hit pretty much most of his spots. He minimized any damage, and he let his defense work. The one thing I noticed that he's not going to be a 10 or 12 strikeout guy like Nikhazy had the potential to do. But he does have a guy that can go out there and probably go deep into a game, because he's going to get a lot of rollover ground balls and lazy fly balls. He's certainly going to have those innings where you're going to get some guys hook some balls in the 6 hole that are going to find a way, and he'll have to work his way out of some jams simply because he's not going to be a strikeout pitcher. But I thought he was really effective, and he'll certainly keep the defense fresh and ready and have to be on their toes, because he is in the zone. And I was excited to see him do so well in his first. I thought he was the best out of the 3 starters. But again, this is a guy with 4 years experience under his belt. But no, good kid. I thought he was good. Good first outing. Again, with VCU coming in this weekend, probably a little bit more of a challenge. So hopefully these guys can continue to progress.
Mike has had guys before, has had transfers before come in and jump right into a starting role or just a big contributing role on the mound. So it's not unheard of. I mean, all the way back to the first year I covered them, which was his second year, J.R. Pickens, was a guy who did that. Came in and pitched well. I think became a Friday night guy, and was drafted after 1 year. There are others that come to mind. Christian Trent more recently, and so it can be done. I mean, you can go out and get those pieces and come in and they can work really well right off the bat. And so a good start for John Gaddis. And certainly when you talk about his velocity and how other teams will put the ball in play and that sort of thing, it was a good mix Saturday when you had him throwing with that velocity, and then Riley Maddox came in. I mean, you could see that. I think that could keep hitters off balance. Maddox, that was kind of it's hard to think he will be that effective and look that sharp every time out. But just from a velocity standpoint, Brad, what does that mean to hitters?
Yeah, I think it's a huge advantage. But also think now Ole Miss knows he's got that inning. He's probably not going to do that every time. But they know when he needs to reach down and get 95, 96, he can do that with the control piece. But I thought the thing that impressed me the most was just his composure. He didn't look like a freshman on the big stage for the first time. Again, I know at that point the game was kind of out of hand, and that there wasn't that added pressure of a I can't make one bad pitch or this thing could be over type deal. But still, the lights are on, and it's nerve wracking. I've been there, and it didn't matter if we were playing Pine Bluff or we were playing Arkansas. It's still a nerve wracking experience that first time you go out there in front of your fans. So I thought he handled it really well. I thought Hunter Elliott handled it really well yesterday. And I thought Mason Nichols, the other freshman from Jackson Prep, was really good. So, there's a lot to be excited about. I don't want to jump the gun on this staff yet. There's still a lot to be determined. But no, I think there's some pieces there to work with.
Yeah, you don't want to jump the gun, but it was a really good first start, really good first weekend of pitching for Ole Miss. And look, we know what the offense is. We've seen this offense produce. The pitching is where they have to rebuild and remake themselves, and so it was a very encouraging start. What do you take away from the weekend on offense?
Scary. There's a couple pieces there that if they contribute, it's going to be one of the best that's ever come through this school, if not the best. It's as advertised. I thought Reagan Burford was really good on Friday, hit a couple balls hard for sac flies. And then Alderman, to me, he's an X factor. If he can have quality at bats, he's still going to swing and miss some. But if he can cut down on the strikeouts and give them good at bats like he did yesterday, it's really scary because that's a 9-hole guy that had a double and number one, his double hit the second baseman's glove and rolled all the way to the wall. That's how hard he hit that ball. And then he hits a 3-run homer out to dead center. So, what you're going to get from Tim, who started out with already hit 2 home runs. Graham hit his first one yesterday. There's a lot of pieces to that puzzle. And then, if you can just get any production, Leatherwood hits a home run Saturday in his first at bat. So they've got 10, 12 guys that if they can, that whoever hits in that 8 or 9 hole, if they can give any production, it's scary. And that puts a lot of pressure on the opposing staff because they can't ever take a break. You can't ever get to that part of the lineup where you can breathe and maybe miss a pitch. This offense is not going to allow you to do that. So they're going to be fun to watch. They're going to win some games this year when the pitching is not there. So yeah, it was as advertised. And like I said, it's just nice to know you're going to pencil in pretty much the same 7 or 8 guys every single day.
Brad, what's on your plate today with Alpha Insurance, man? Did the severe weather coming through, did you have some claims?
Yeah, well, the first thing is I'm going to pray that if you don't have to get out from President's Day, don't get out because the weather's just awful, Haven't had any yet. But yeah, just trying to get through get caught up on Friday, had to leave a little early and go to the park and, obviously hoping the claims stay low, stay down, people be smart in this kind of weather, obviously with the heavy rains, the hydroplaning and that type of stuff. So, just want to make sure everybody's safe. And if they do need anything, 662-236-1575 Parrish.
All right. Let's see.